Hey y'all, welcome back to today's episode of Chatting with Coach Amy. Today I have a very last minute wonderful chat in store for you guys with Chelsea. She did one-on-one coaching with me at the end of 2024. Yes, that's right. And now she's in my Blooms community and is already a breakthrough leader and just an amazing, oh my gosh, I just love you so much. And to tell y'all, I'm gonna let her talk, I promise. But just to tell y'all how awesome she is, I literally texted her like an hour and a half ago, and here she is with bells on, ready to share her story with y'all. No hesitation. Yeah, sure. Let's do it. So, Chelsea, introduce yourself to everybody, please.
Okay, well, first I have to tell you, I'm just a little bit nervous. So I figure with some
No,
talking, we'll be fine.
don't be
um,
nervous.
it was fun though. I've definitely learned some principles in coaching because when you texted me, I was like, "Oh, sorry, I've got to finish my workout first and eat my breakfast, and then I'll be good to go."
Yep, you stood up for yourself. That's
That
right.
that's right. So that's fun. I thought I'd quick start and just share with you a little of my background as far as when Trim Healthy came into my life and that kind of thing. So I first heard about Trim Healthy back when it was the big book, but I didn't follow it. I thought I did, but no, I didn't. So it's pretty crazy because the longest at that time I ever did Trim Healthy was a fuel cycle, and it was for a solid 12 days. And I thought, yeah, that'll do. And
Check.
yeah, I was like, okay, did it, done. But what I actually was doing was just practicing it. So that's kind of funny. I
Yeah.
was making the recipes and I was grazing and kind of working out here and there, here and there. But I wasn't actually doing it. And that really had to come into play when I restarted, came back, whatever you wanted to call
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Now that part of my life I have kind of blocked out, the Trim Healthy part from my memory because that time in my life was very hard.
Yeah.
It was a horribly unhealthy time in different ways. I
Yeah.
was married before, but I have 3 beautiful daughters.
Yes.
Kaylee is 11, Grace 8, and Eve is 5, and they are my joy.
Yes.
My
So
husband,
sweet.
Doug, is my rock. We've been married for about 2.5 years. And basically what I want to say about that is God is known for taking broken things and making them absolutely beautiful. It's
Amen. Amen. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh my goodness. That's some good stuff.
it's
I to give you a little break to deal with that thought cuz I imagine that was a lot to say out loud to people who don't know you. Um I was talking to someone the other day that one of my favorite stories when we go through things that are hard, one of my favorite stories from the Bible that helps me keep it together is Joseph's story. And in scripture, it tells us that what man meant for evil, God used for good. And okay, it gives me chill bumps every time. And that now, like in the middle of the thing, I'm probably not like all philosophical and thinking about the Bible. I know I should, but you just don't. And so, like, but it's so good to fall back on that while you're processing and everything. So that's so good. Thank you so much for sharing that and being vulnerable with us. And because everybody has something.
Oh yes, we do. Everyone. You might think they don't, but they do.
That's right. That's so good. So good. So, what made you come back to Trim Healthy?
Okay. So it really hit about now keep in mind this is before I found you. So this was kind of like
Okay.
the beginning of the restart, if you want to call it that. So
Sure.
December of 2023, it was kind of a fun time because we loaded up the family and my mother, who you'll see is like a huge part of my journey. We went down and to Pensacola, Florida, and we homeschooled for about 2 months, and which was fun in and of itself. During that time, my sister in law was diagnosed with breast cancer.
Mm.
And that really hit me hard. By the way, she's fantastic. She's
Oh,
completely cleared and everything
amen.
and all that
That's awesome.
so that's awesome. However, that really hit me hard. Like it finally was a realization. I have other things too, but I am known to talk myself around in circles. So
Mm.
for instance, my father has had 2 knee replacements. My mother has had 2 knee replacements and 2 hip replacements. So I already know I'm going to have health issues in my future
Right,
if I'm not focusing on it. And
right.
and but and but my sister-in-law being sick is what finally hit me because she's only a little bit older than me,
Right.
and granted, not because we have the same family history, but it just totally hit me in a different way. And
Yeah.
so I realized, you're gonna have to do something about it. And I knew that, what I'd done in the past doesn't work, so there's no point in doing it the same way. So
Mm.
I thought, why don't
Mm.
I
That's good. That's good. What I've been doing isn't working, so I have to do something different.
yes.
Profound.
I knew
Simple, but profound.
And so I thought, why don't we take the long-term approach? And basically it was, well, whatever I did last time, I want to do the opposite of that this time. So last time I tried to do it on my own. And so this time I thought, why don't I do more praying about it?
Mm.
Last time I didn't have anyone in my life that I told about. This time I thought, I'm going to put trackers on the wall. My kids are going to know
Everyone shall
exactly.
know.
That's right. All my kids know exactly what I'm doing and why. My husband knows, and he's super supportive. I couldn't be more thankful. Just everything was different. Last time, I didn't even really think about a coach at all. This time, I thought I'm gonna find a way to make that happen because I know I need accountability and support.
Yeah.
Um, and so I started with exercising, which didn't turn out so great, but that's okay. I have to start somewhere, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And I also started with, I knew there was a reason why I was having trouble with food. That's when I first was introduced to the idea of emotional eating. And I
Mm.
thought it was just me. I thought there was something wrong with me before
Oh,
I could put that term on it.
right.
And so that helped immensely. There was a book by Janine Roth that really helped me walk through that. And that was basically the first thing I tackled. Then I read another book called The Miracle Morning. And then also the book that you mentioned quite a bit, Atomic Habits. And I just took all those things and I put them into practice.
Yeah.
And I did that for about 6 months until about summertime of 2024. And then it really hit me that it's like, these things are all great, but if you're not doing anything with your food and your diet, are you really even doing anything? Is
Yeah.
what the deal
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
So then we went on vacation to Portugal, and
I love y'all.
we love to travel, so that's
You do. I
that's
love
our
it.
thing.
I shall travel vicariously through Chelsea.
That's fine. And my mind was blown, Coach Amy, because I went and I wasn't focusing on diet or nutrition up to that time, but I kid you not, when you go out of the country and in Europe, it's like the food is healthier. There's
Oh,
not
yeah.
all the junk that's in
Junk.
it.
Mhm.
And that was the first time ever that I went away on vacation for 2 weeks or whatever, came back and had lost weight.
Wow.
And we ate food after food after food because it's very inexpensive there, and I just couldn't get over it. I was like, "What?" So that's when the realization hit me that the food you're putting in your body can be like poison if you let it.
Oh, yeah.
So that also means a lot to me because I also have a business in the food industry
Mhm.
working on healthy food products, and so that it all kind of interconnects in my
Right.
brain.
Right.
And so that's when the realization hit. I came back and I said, okay, it's time to tackle diet and nutrition now. And I need help. I have to find ways to make this long term and sustainable. And that's kind of where I found you. I thought, okay, the first thing I have to do to make this long term is I have to figure out a way to like have a cinnamon roll. So, I never was much into the big Trim Healthy Mama Facebook group because I felt like I could get lost there.
Sure.
and there was no one I could make a close connection to, which is a big deal for me because I'm actually introverted. But I searched for a cinnamon roll recipe in the Trim Healthy Mama group. Your your video came up for your overnights, your overnight biscuits, and your overnight cinnamon squares.
Uh-huh.
And so I watched that and I was like, well, first off, I didn't have those things. So that was my first thing. I was like, I could have
Right.
used that as an excuse to be like,
Right.
I don't know what icorn is. I'm not doing this.
Right.
Um, but you made it so great.
Thank you.
You were like, you can change it, you can make it from a crossover to an e, and you can anyway, you just made it seem so doable and simple, and I was like, hey, I kind of really like this. So I tried that, and I kind of like jumped in the swimming pool and like started swimming right after you, as far as following all your things.
Yeah.
I'm sure to you and maybe whoever else, it seemed like I kind of appeared out of nowhere,
Mm.
but I kind of did. And as soon as it felt like you started talking directly to me when you did one of your master classes and you were talking about protein and then
Yeah.
something else, and it all related to my goals, which is
Yeah.
longevity
Right.
and muscle mass
Yes.
and all those things. And I was like, okay, great. So I thought I would jump in with coaching with you because you obviously had more knowledge than I did, more experience, and I could relate to your personality as far as if you told me to do something, I knew I would do it because you seem like
And you did. You did it.
and
Thank you.
that's kind of what the deal is. So
Yeah. Yeah. I love you so much. Like, I will tell you, when we had our discovery call, I got done. Wes was down here and he came in. He was like, how'd it go? I was like, that girl is intense. She is focused. Like, she knows what she wants. Intense, not in a negative way at all. Like, you were so, I don't, focused really isn't even a good word. Like, you were ready. You were primed. And you see what you want and you go get it. Not to the desolation of your family at all, but like you're going to make a way. And I love that so much about you. And I'm sure all the challenges you've had in your life have created that mindset. But I know having girls, you have such a burden to be such an amazing example to them. And that's what you're doing. Bringing them into the conversation, letting them see, and you might not have even brought up the breast cancer of their aunt, but I mean, it's so real. I mean, time is going to pass anyway. And so my belief, and I believe you probably have this belief too, I want to do everything I can now to avoid hardship later. I want my future self to be so proud of yesterday, 10 years ago, Amy, all those in between, to be a grandmother with who knows how many grandkids I'll end up with. That at 60 and 70 and however old, I pray I live forever and ever, but I won't. I know that. But anyway, like I can get on the floor with them. I can easily go to their 50,000 ball games and recitals and cook them all the things. Like you know what I mean? Like that's what I want. I want to enjoy retirement age with Wes Gaskin and go to Portugal. I'm sure you can hook me up with all the details, but like
absolutely.
have the energy to be. And even I don't remember how old you are, but I'm 43. And, even at 43, I am meeting with women. I'm seeing women my age that feel 90. And I want people to hear right now what we're saying. How old were you in 2023 when you decided to get it together?
I was 32.
32.
So
You
I'm
a
33
baby.
now.
You a baby. Um, but I'm super proud of you because at 32, there's women listening right now at 32 that are so in over their head with unhealthy decisions, whether it's mental, emotional, or food or exercise or whatever, and they don't think they can. But we are here to tell you, yes, you can. I was around your age when I started all this. And so I want to tell you at 43, you're going to be awesome. I
Yay.
feel awesome. Yes, I have different little things that come up, but I can overcome them. I have the mindset perspective of, one of my themes one year was actually I can. I love my themes and I love that I'm able to bring those phrases back when I talk to people. Keep promises to yourself, level up, do a little bit, just a little bit, different things like that. My very first one, you probably don't know this. My very first one was beautiful resolve. Like
Mm-mm.
I am resolved. And that's what you are. You were resolved and you found small things. You started out with working out and you were kind of coasting, doing the thing. And then you're like, bruh, I got to get this food dialed in, And so it's so beautiful, I think. And then one simple little recipe brought you over here. I love that so much. Sweet Carol, that's in Blooms. I
Yes.
had gone live years ago in the main THM group. We can't do that anymore. But I was doing a crustless pizza, and now I make a skillet one that everybody makes. But like pizza is life to me. I love pizza so much. And that's what brought her to me. And then to know that me tweaking Rashida's overnight recipe, that's it. I just love that so much. That makes my heart so, so happy. So, what would you say is like one of your favorite outcomes from coaching?
Um, Definitely how I feel.
Mm,
One, the body parts, don't hurt, like when you move and you exercise, but
yes.
not even just when you exercise, just daily life.
Yeah.
Going up and down stairs and just being able to move and run and play, and by the end of the day, still having energy to then be a good mom, which is,
Yeah.
super important.
Yes.
So those things, but then also the mental clarity of it as well. Not having your mind or your emotions or whatever fighting against what it is that you're actually wanting to do here or trying to
Oh,
accomplish.
so good. So good. That mindset shift. I mean, I've redone my entire Buds program. Her sweet Mama Kate. She is sweet Mama Kate. She's even in Mighty Networks as Mama Kate. Because of my crazy self over here. I was like, oh, it's Mama Kate. Chelsea brought in her mother into my coaching realm with Holiday. And I'm pretty sure 100 Strong, y'all did that together.
Mhm.
And Mama Kate is one of my first for my new buds experience. She was not the first to sign up, but she was one of the first, and that girl was ready. But in my buds experience, instead of getting just off the bat with food, 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 get it right or you're terrible. That's what people think. And they would do my buds programs back last year and years past. But I'm beginning with their mindsets. We are sprinkling in, let's talk about the plan, let's talk about routine, but mindset is like really, and I have seen your mom has an amazing mindset, but I've seen such an amazing, like aha moments for the ladies that are alongside her in this small group. And I feel so good about it. Like it just makes me feel so good. I feel like I'm doing the right thing by helping him with that. Because if your mindset is resolved, like we talked about, you have resilience to bounce back when stuff goes crazy, you know. And so many times I've talked to people and they're like, well, when things settle down or when I can get my routine back, you, I think you will agree with me. There's really no such thing as settling down. It's always going to be something that's going to always something's going to come up, and you've got to be able to have that resolve, that resilience to be able to just pivot. Me, they didn't send mushrooms. Okay, we're just going to put broccoli in there. It'll be fine. Some people that would really make them freeze in the kitchen. And they'd be like, well, I just can't do this at all. I just can't do it. It's too hard. They would. That does happen. And so I'm super proud of you. And again, bringing your mom in to this, it's just a beautiful thing to see that for you guys. And then you've got the generation of your girls that both of you are pouring into them.
Yes.
Such a beautiful thing.
And I have to love on my mom too because, she's stuck with it. It was completely new and foreign to her and learning the S and the E and the how do I implement it, and so it's really fun because she comes over and we all eat supper together, and that's a win-win, and so I'm super proud of her as well.
You should be. She's awesome. She really is.
And it's
All
fun to
right.
see some changes in my children as well too.
Yeah.
Like, I remember my oldest daughter asking me one time, she's like, "Are we gonna have to eat healthy too?" Like, meaning, am I gonna make her eat healthy all the time? And I was
Yeah,
like, "Well, I hope you make healthy choices, but I am not doing this to make you eat healthy. I want to show you an example by this is what I'm doing, this is how I feed my body, this is how I stay healthy, because at some point, you're gonna wanna know that information." And
right,
so it was neat.
right. That's right, absolutely. And, I'm in the teenage years with all of mine, and the ones that were younger when I started this, it did stick, and I think the older ones too, they know it, but they're not quite convinced, that they need to do it yet. I don't have a problem, so and I'm like, "Whatever, I can't." I can't, you can lead a horse to water, that's about it.
Yep, that's right.
Oh, so anyway, we don't focus too much on that at our house, but they know the basics and,
Perfect.
they support me 100% and, we'll do whatever. They go to the grocery store, they usually just grab me some cucumbers and strawberries because they know I probably need it, you know?
That's
Oh,
great.
so that's so funny. It really is. So now you've got did you ever find a solid cinnamon roll recipe to bless your heart?
Yeah, I actually kinda like the overnight cinnamon squares, and what I found is it I don't need them. It was amazing. I
Man,
think I've made it twice in the last 7 months. And by the way, I have been 100% unplanned the entire time since I came back
yeah,
in July. Not saying that that won't happen, I will mess up. However, I won't let it derail me this time, whereas in the past,
right.
it'd be like, "Whatever."
That's that mindset. That's that
Yep.
mindset. So tell us if you don't mind, can you tell us what your progress has been? You could do size clothes, you could do weight, inches, anything that you're comfortable sharing, just so they can know where you were and where you are. And I know that you are still going.
Yes, I am still going. I am down 50 pounds, which is amazing.
So
And
amazing.
let's see. So when I started, my clothing size was 18 and I'm in 12s right now.
Are they
Right
getting a
now.
little too loose?
They're like all weird and saggy, but that's okay.
How tall are you? Yeah, are you tall? I feel like you're tall.
I am 5'7". I had to think there
That's
for a
tall
minute.
for me. Five
Yes, it
seven.
is. um,
5'2", so short.
so yeah, that's going really great. I'm not sure where I'm at with inches. I know it's over 35 inches.
Wow.
And I don't necessarily have a target of
Sure.
where I want to end up, but I feel like I am going to know when I get there.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed. And all the Trim Healthy Wisdom stuff that's come out that Serena and Pearl have worked so hard on. What a beautiful gift that you have to know that you aren't going to have to deal with all that mess because you're going to be like armed, like locked and loaded with like so much information to help yourself through that time. Oh my gosh. I'm so
And that's
excited
my
for you.
goal. That's my goal. I was like, oh, how can I set myself up for success?
Yes. So good. Oh my goodness gracious. So what are some recipes that your family loves?
Well, my children love the gummies recipe,
Oh, yeah.
and, I think I've only ever made it the original recipe, like, once with just plain lemon juice. They're the lemon pucker gummies, I
Yep.
forget which cookbook.
Yep.
And
THC.
thank you. And I generally always use raspberry vitamin C powder, but I've also done other types, and they love them. They eat them,
Awesome.
and so that's really fun. Granted, that's a snack recipe or, like, after supper or
Yeah.
that kind of thing, so that's
Yeah.
fun. We also like Slim Sloppy Joes,
Yes.
spaghetti night, and tacos. My husband also cooks, that's amazing. He does not necessarily cook Trim Healthy Mama st he definitely makes healthy things, but, like, he'll add on a side of something that he and the
Sure.
children will eat that I won't.
Sure.
Um, and let's see, what are some other recipes? For breakfast, I like, the chocolate peanut butter oatmeal from Northern Nestor, that's my sweatpants oatmeal,
Okay.
and I have been loving the individual serve apple cinnamon waffles,
Yes.
and that's good. Man, I have so many. Now as far as I know you'd said family recipes though, so I
It's
was
okay. It's all
using
right.
that as a moment to think for a minute. They love cheeseburger pie
Yeah.
and, yeah, just lots of stuff.
So, so good. That's okay. I love
Pizzeria
that.
soup.
What did you say?
Pizzeria soup.
Yes. I like some pizzeria soup. So
Mhm.
good. It's funny that you brought up Slim Sloppy Joes. I actually thought about that. I write a new menu every Monday morning for
Mhm.
clients. And I was thinking ahead, which I normally don't do. So it's very weird. I normally am like, okay, now it's time to do the menu. I don't think about it until then. But I was like, we're going to have Slim Sloppy Joes this week. And so it's funny you brought that up. So that will be coming. I'll probably make it Tuesday. You'll get to watch.
Perfect, that's
Oh,
fun.
goodness.
I love that
So,
you do menus. I find that
um,
super helpful. And up until the last couple of weeks, I you would use them regularly, but
yeah.
something new I've tried the last couple of weeks is seeing if maybe I could get like a rotation of
Uh huh.
suppers that I know
Uh
my
huh.
family likes. So I've been asking them,
Yeah.
"Hey, what do you want this week?" And they all seem to have one. So I haven't necessarily used your menu for suppers, but
Yeah.
just wanted you to know that that is helpful.
Thank you. I'm so glad. Do you like the Live in the Kitchen?
I do. I generally am never able to join
Live.
live, but I always watch if I can't join live, I'll always watch your replays for master classes, for live in the kitchens, and I have found that I love Monday night live.
Ah,
And
yay.
and I mean, not that I don't like it on replay, but
Yeah.
your excitement and your teachings and being able to connect with other people
Yeah.
is phenomenal. So
It
I
is.
really encourage everyone to try to join Monday Night Live.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Chelsea. And I mentioned that she is a breakthrough leader. So all that we're talking about is in my Blooms community. And I was just talking to some people about my blooms, and they're also in a coaching space, not Trim Healthy, but they were like, you have, because I think today I looked this morning 262. Sometimes I've had 270 before in there, but people fall off and that's fine. But they were all floored that I had that many, and it's pretty consistent. I consistently have about 250, and they come and go and things, but it's like going home, even for me as the coach. Like, it is like going home, and I don't want ever people to get like super comfy cozies so they're not challenged. And so I do the monthly things. And Darlene, right before I talked to you, I was like, Darlene, we haven't released the February stuff, and like that's tomorrow. We got to do this. And she's like, so anyway, we'll be popping that out soon, which this will air on Monday. But anyway, I absolutely love the way that God has shown me to tweak things and not be scared to change stuff up inside of Blooms to benefit you guys the best. And bringing out those breakthrough groups, because the group's so large, I was seeing a disconnect, and I was like, oh no, 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 not in my Blooms. Oh no. And so when I began, encouraging them to join, because you're kind of coming in, recently, right?
Yes.
Um, that was really, it was hard at the beginning. Like, my breakthrough leaders that I asked to lead, they were like, they're not saying anything. And I'm like, just give them time. And because we used to do Sunday nights at that time, every Sunday night I'd be like, okay, I'm challenging you. Just post one thing or share one thing or talk on your markup, one thing a week, just one thing a week. And finally we've got it. And Chelsea, super thanks for stepping in for your group too. I hope that that's been a blessing, for your experience in Blooms.
No problem. My breakthrough group is fantastic. We talk about all kinds of things.
Yep.
We're super encouraging, and I'm so proud of them because everyone's in different places,
Yeah.
but we can always find some encouraging comment or some
Uh-huh.
tip or
Yeah.
or something, and it's really fun.
Good. Good. I love that so much. Well, we're about out of time. Was there anything else you wanted to share? Anything at all?
Just to keep staying accountable and in a space that's supportive for you and that you can do it and that I'm super
Yeah.
grateful for all the fun things that you bring up and that you challenge us with and I plan on being here for a long time.
I'm so glad because you make my life better for sure. You do. Well, thank you so much, Chelsea. I got to find all my buttons because I haven't done podcasts in a really long time. I think I found it. Okay. Do you want to tell them bye, girl?
Bye.
Bye, y'all. Thanks for listening.